We're born into a certain world. It's chosen for us. Some might think it's brutal. No, please don't kill me! I say it's glorious.
Oh boy, what a show. I have watched the complete first season of Gangs of London. And in this video, I'm going to give you some more information about the show and give you my spoiler-free review. Let's go!
Someone chose to kill Finn Wallace. Today we mourn the loss of a great man, but tomorrow it will be business as usual.
No. Everything stops until I find out who killed him.
Finn Wallace, head of London's most powerful crime family, has been murdered. And nobody knows who ordered the hit. His assassination leaves a sudden power vacuum in London and brings turbulent power struggles of its international gangs. But the show must go on, right? Well, Sean Wallace, son and new head of the Wallace family, has a different idea. And this is where the journey begins. Gangs of London is an action crime drama produced by Sky Atlantic. The showrunners are Gareth and his partner in crime Matt Flannery. You may know these names, and I really hope you do, from the incredible Raid movies. Gareth himself was the director, writer and producer of these movies, with Matt Flannery as his director of photography. The show starts its first season with 9 episodes, with a length of roundabout 55 minutes each. Except the first episode. Here we have a length of freaking 1.5 hours. If you want to find out where and how you can stream Gangs of London today, then check out on sites like justwatch.com. Before we start this off, when I first heard Gareth director of the Raid movies, is creating a show called Gangs of London, I was excited, super excited. I really do like the first Raid. It was different, it was intense, it was violent, it was a great martial art movie with a really cool idea. But I do love the Raid 2. It is for me one of the best action movies and best sequels ever. It is superior in terms of storytelling. It's a masterpiece in action choreography. I haven't seen anything like this before, and it kept me literally on the edge of my seat. If you didn't watch the Raid 2 until today, then please go and see it. So when the first trailer of Gangs of London suddenly hit the internet, I was thrilled and I could not wait to see the show. Because it reminded me a lot of the Raid 2 in terms of the dark and intense atmosphere. And the story setup, yes, it made me curious. Now after watching the show, I can say it's really good and I had a lot of fun. The story itself is interesting. The setup of having the most powerful head of the city killed got me hooked right from the start. And the series is doing a good job of establishing a world with all its different gangs and parties. All have different backgrounds, different interests, needs, plans, which necessarily have to collide in an unforgivable world like this. Nevertheless, it's not the deepest of all stories you get to see here. Also, it's not super realistic all the time, especially in terms of character development, so you might have to establish a higher suspense of disbelief during the watch of this show. But honestly, it was fine for me. It worked for me, because the show doesn't pretend to be Sopranos or The Wire. The story has its great surprises. It's often consequent, yes, maybe not always believable, but hey, it has some really great moments and some absolutely fantastic shots. And people, the production value is fabulous. The camera is off the hook. We have really great pictures. It's again really gritty and stylish, as we expect from Gareth Evans. And the action, wow! It has the most fantastic gun and fight action scenes I saw in TV shows. And yes, it's violent. It is hyper-violent and more frenetic than TV shows you may have watched before.
He's the twat that tore up the pub.
Elliot.
You did all that on your own? What was it, 6 of them?
Or 8. But I had a dart, so...
Talking about the location London, I did like London as center of international gangster plot. That worked out quite good for me, and we get to see a great variety of different interesting set pieces. So overall, if you are willing to ride with the characters and you are willing to dive deeper in this world, you will get paid off big time with really good entertainment. And people, episode 5, wow, that really kicked it off for me and proved me once again what an excellent director Gareth Evans is. I really hope he gets more attention and is allowed to do more and bigger stuff in the future. What I can tell for now, you got me, Mr. Evans. I'm a fan. I will close my review by clustering the potential audience of this show into 3 groups. Thumbs up, who will like it, thumbs down, who won't like it, and must see, who has to watch it no matter what. So let's start with the group of people who will like it. If you like gangster series and movies, then you will definitely like this one. It's a story of a certain milieu. You will also like it if you like in general the dark and rough tone, because here are men and women fighting over power. Who is the smartest? Who is the strongest? Who is the wolf? Who is the sheep? If you are addicted to these kind of stories, give this one a try. And obviously, if you are an action fan and want to have great action sequences, then no question, this is your show. If you are willing to dive deeper into the story and without questioning each of every step, there's a high chance you will like the show. Let's talk about when you won't like it. Obviously, if you can't see blood and if you can't stand intense action scenes, because there is an arguably high focus on action in the show. If you want to see a slow-paced character study, like for example Sopranos or even Breaking Bad, you might get disappointed with this one. And again, coming back to the rough tone, there are no slapstick moments or comic reliefs. So if you can't stand the serious tone all the time, don't watch it. And who has to watch it no matter what? People, if you like to rate movies, you have to watch this one. Because what you expect is exactly what you get. And that is good. And if you are even a fan of Gareth Evans' work, you have watched this one anyway, right? There's nothing I could tell you. On IMDb, Gangs of London has today, and we have the first August week in 2020, a IMDb rating of 8.2, which is absolutely fine for me. If you want to see more reviews like this in the future, please subscribe. This here is my first review, my first try, so please let me know whether you liked it or not. Other than this, I say thank you for watching and see you next time.